Hello everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by my video on this early Thursday afternoon. I'm awfully nervous and well, I'd like to go ahead and watercolor this gnome portrait from the beard or bust up, if you will. And okay, let's just go ahead and get right into it. I have a lot to cover, and this is not a tutorial. This is just something I would love to share with you guys in real time. And I usually begin from the back to the front. So I'm going to go ahead and just begin adding in this green color that I mixed on my own. This is a mixture of the Winsor and Newman. Oh boy, I'm just nervous. Just bear with me, you guys. The Winsor and Newton Cotman Gamboge Hue with the Renaissance Polska Indigo. And that is what makes up my green. And then I have to double check on the actual mixture for the red because I want to make his beard red, but I will check up on that. It is a mixture of Van Dyke Brown, some Caput Mortem, and some Dragon's Breath. I do know that. The Caput Mortem and Dragon's Breath is from Renaissance Polska, and the Van Dyke Brown is from Winsor Newton Cotman. I'm using the Artist Loft brand watercolor paper. This is their 9x12 supposedly artist grade watercolor paper block, but it is 100% cotton watercolor paper, and I have enjoyed using this paper for swatching and light artwork. So this is the first time I'm attempting at doing something a bit more extra. I do move my paper around quite a bit, guys. And I'm using a Princeton Elite number 10 with a good amount of all that green in there, and then a number 4 Velvet Touch to gently blend it out. I'm not too sure what color I want his mitts to be, his little hand mitts. And being that this video is in real time, well, I'd like to keep it in real time. It'll be a bit longer, but I'm hoping you guys will enjoy the process. Whew, I'm a bit nervous here. I'm going to try my best not to overwork things, including myself. And if my hands look a bit dry to you in the video, please excuse. I cleaned my hands thoroughly before beginning because I just don't want any extra oil from the cream or cuticle oil that I use to get on this paper. And what I'd like to do in the end is apply some beautiful background color afterwards. I just don't know which color. Usually a lot of people like to apply phthalo blue to the background to brighten things up, but as you can see with the green and the red beard and mustache, I'm going to try to keep this you know, March Madness gnome. That's exactly what I will name him. He is my March Madness gnome. Okay, so I went ahead and just added a bit more color there to the edge, trying to keep that area in the middle of his, is that a cuff? I'll do the same over here. Oh my goodness, apologies. Okay, so apologies about that. I had a text message come in from my son, so everything's all set now. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and work from dark to light here. I don't use this brush too often, so I'm having, I wouldn't say trouble, but there's definitely a learning curve to these brushes. I remember purchasing it in the middle of my obsession with loose florals, thinking it was going to be a good brush for that, and it wasn't. So I haven't used it in a long time. Just adding water to the brush so I can just gently blend some of this color out. I'm going to go ahead and put my other brush down. So a lot of moving around. I do reshape a few things as I paint them. I'm going to go ahead and just so glad I chose this color combination. It's gorgeous. Okay, so let's go ahead and just see our way up, following my pencil lines. Clean a bit more of the color up, excuse me, off the brush. I'm not that great with light direction or anything like that, but the top part of his hat would be the lightest. And then I'll just gently blend that down. And this brush doesn't exactly come to a fine pointy tip either. All right, let's go ahead. Try my best not to bump things around and do things a bit slower there when I move my block around. I'm not sure what color I'm going to use for the trim of his hat. Ooh. So far this paper is just really nice to work on. Oh, that's good. Ooh, that's good. That's some good stuff right there. Oh my, that is gorgeous. I love seeing the bit of indigo that popped out. Now the indigo that I'm talking about is very, very ultramarine based, and I'll show you in just a moment. This is why I came across this blend here. This is what it looks like. I'm standing up, by the way, just so you guys can see. I'm going to take you guys off of autofocus so I can bring this up closer. See how light that indigo is? I think it is. And so I mixed it with a few colors from the same line, Renaissance Polska. This is the Tyrian yellow and the cadmium red, or yeah, that's a cadmium red, the cadmium yellow. And I got different shades of green. I almost went with this one, so yeah, that's gorgeous. You can see the cadmium yellow there. But there was just something about the gamboge hue. And then look at that gorgeous color right there. So I have them both right here. This is what the color looks like. I just think it's really light for an indigo. And then here is the Cotman gamboge hue. All right, show and tell is over. Let's go back to this gorgeous, luscious gnome hat. Okay, so let's go ahead and just reintroduce some darker value onto right there, because that just looks amazing. This is the type of art that I want to share with you guys. My gosh, that is just gorgeous. There's a reason why so many artists love to blend their own greens. Man. I want to try to preserve that highlight right there in the middle, but because I've never done a painting this rendered before on this paper, I wouldn't say I'm having trouble, but it's different. Okay, I'll take care of that later on. I'm going to go ahead and just gently smooth things over here. I think it's my brush. It's just weird. I don't know. If I move away from my painting, it's because I do not want to breathe all hard into the cell phone microphone, which is right around here. It's what I use to record, because Lord knows I don't want anyone to be subjected to that. Sometimes I can be a bit sniffly. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of leave that alone for a bit and let that do its own thing. I love to see the blue pop out right here. Sorry about my cell phone, it kind of just bops up and down. All right, let's go ahead and begin working on the beard, but before I do, I'm gonna have to get some new water because let me see here, and I'm also going to change brushes. Yep, let me clean my water up. I'll be right back. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly heat set everything here, even though I'm pretty sure that's decently dried up, but just in case, because I'm going to begin to tackle his mustache and beard. The bit of skin color, natural skin color, on his nose, I'll deal with the last, because I think I mentioned in the beginning of the video I like to work from back to front. So, and I still haven't decided on what blue I want to use for the background, like a nice soft color wash, and I'm thinking I just might use the indigo color, but yeah, just I don't know why I needed to let you know that, but I did. I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and cleaned up the other brush, and I'm going to be using for the beard this Hobby Lobby's brand Master's Touch number 4 round. I believe, excuse me, this is part of their synthetic sable line. And then I'm going to bring my tried and true favorite, my workhorse. This is my number 10 Artegria Intuition. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to dip my brush into the water, and I'm going to just do a light color wash. And a very light value of all of the colors for his beard. Again, I'll make sure to leave that in the description box area of this video, all the colors that I used, in case you'd like to use the same colors for your gnome or just the green in general, because the mixture I did there is just unbelievable. Well, I think it is. So just a very light color wash. I know that the colors I've chosen for the beard granulate, so I will definitely see that. Dare I say he is going to be a cute little ginger gnome. Hope I don't offend anyone by saying that. But he is. I love the way his beard came out. It took me a while to sketch it out. A good hour, I would say. And I'm thinking I might bring in another girl gnome with some braids. Gnomes are not new to me. I've drawn them and have painted them several times already. Okay. I naturally want some darker value right underneath his, whoa. right underneath his nose. Just need to be careful. Actually, I'll go ahead and do that as well now. Just add some darker color where it would naturally be, which would be underneath his nose, and just the areas where all these beautiful wispy marks would meet together. Naturally at the bottom too, so I'll go ahead and do that as well. I think it's because I'm nervous that I'm getting so short of breath here. Isn't that something? It takes a lot more courage than you can imagine to press that record button. Okay, looks like I'm going to need it to, because I know this sleeve is a bit higher up than that one, and that's okay because I can fix things. I did that on purpose, but I need to bring this sleeve up a bit more, and I think I'll do the same thing for this side too. All right, so that's looking pretty good. And I come back later and add the final color to this area. It will have already, you know, dried up and settled down. I'm gonna go ahead and come a bit closer. Gnomes are known for their big old schnozzes. Yep, all this area would be naturally darker too. It's like right underneath the hat. I gotta tell you, so far this paper is just really, really nice to work on. It's a bit smoother, I can tell. I'd recommend it, but not without a coupon, and even with a coupon, the price is just highway robbery. Here in the US, and I live in the Northeast, here in the US, this pack of 29 by 12 cotton paper black at Michael's is $40, $39.99. I would use a coupon, and if you have any of those reward bucks, use that as well. And try to get it when it's buy one get one half off, so at least you can justify purchasing two. Because I do think the paper is good. The price is just disgusting. That's it, no more, no less. Okay, so that's good. See, I began to shape in his that part of his mustache. Mustache. That's right. All right, that's looking pretty good. All right, deep breath. So far, so good, and under 20 minutes. Don't know how long this will continue to take me, but I'm going to keep chugging along. All right, I'm going to use the smaller round number 4 brush again. And I will begin to add some color here. I'm going to reshape things just a bit. I want this area to be a bit more darker. It would naturally be regardless. And I'm thinking my number 8 Artegria will work out for a blender brush. Really good. There we go. It's looking very, very nice. I have a feeling I'm going to add some gold as well. Just add a bit of darker color there. Maybe even add a bit more on the opposite side over here, where some of these edges would kind of dip in. I'm going to see different, different shades of blue come out as I do this. See, I see a bit of the indigo coming out there. Just adding some interest. That's pretty. That is very pretty. Wow, very nice. I still haven't decided what I want for the trim. And let's see. I know I can make his skin color from the nose and bring it into his little hands too, but I don't want to. I want him to have gloves. So what other color would be good? Well, I'll keep it simple. Let me go ahead and mix up a bit of the gamboge hue by itself. Take a couple swipes of the green in the mixture. And then I'll use that maybe he has a couple shades of green on him. Then I'll use this brush to gently blend it out. Oh, very nice. Yep, much brighter green. But in this case, I don't mind. And push that back. Again, trying to match the highlight from the sleeve right here. I think I'll just use this color for the trim. Leave it alone, Laura, leave it alone. Don't start messing with things. Oh man, I'm gonna have to practice Gnome's clothing for drawing, because I could imagine a whole outfit in a March Madness Gnome with this color green, because I would never use this green any other time, but this is actually looking really nice. What is up with my brush? Just bringing in some darker color here. Can never get the same shape twice, but that's okay. That is okay. All right, so super light right here in the middle and darker towards the edges. Yeah, that's not gonna work if that's still damp. Let me go ahead and heat set that. Okay, so of course I pressed the stop button instead of the pause button, but that's okay. You're seeing everything back to back no matter what. I went ahead and just took advantage of that bit of downtime in between. It's been about, I would say, almost 10 minutes. I went ahead and just brought up the dark green color here, and also there as well. I had mentioned that earlier, and this is where I'm going to just add a bit of detail here. This is going to make his little cup pop right out. Just adding a bit of darker color, just like that. I always enjoy seeing that. Gotta be careful here. It's dry, but I get nervous. Because I have some gamboge hue in this smaller brush, I can see that. I wanted to pop out, but there we go. Anything uneven, I'll get back to. All right, let's go ahead and real quick, might as well, you know what, let me use my kneaded eraser. I think I can erase those lines just a bit more. Okay, all I did was lightened up the lines for the hearts, which I will do right now. So I'm definitely keeping this super simple with the colors, just different intensities of the same green mixture. And I also used my kneaded eraser around his nose and this area around here too, just to make it easier for myself. This is probably one brush that I slept on and I'm using more often. That's the Velvet Touch brushes by Princeton. Just gonna come in right here. Straighten things out. They don't all have to be the same shape, but I want them all to be similar. To go over right here. I love the primitive heart shape. That's what I was going for this. For this shape, and then I'll just bring a little bit of a darker color right into here. Add right there in the middle. While it's still wet. This brush doesn't come to a perfect point tip either. There's also, well it does, but it also works at an angle too. Just kind of where they all separate. And then I'll just use a little bit of water on my brush too. And just separate that. Very nice. I'll just let that work itself out, and whatever happens there, happens there. So this right here will be even lighter than the mitts because I'm watering it down. I don't mind if it touches the darker area. Just gotta be careful with the beard area. Whew. Then I'll just use very lightly the tip of my other brush and gently bring that out. So this area right here will be the lightest. It helps that my water looks like a watered down margarita. I can actually use it as a light color wash. I don't mind that it's pushed up into the actual hat. So this will be, if everything goes well, this will be the second video in my No Buy 2023, because I'm using products, paper, brushes, paints that I already have in my stash, so kind of shopping your own stash. And it took me a while to get to the green that I have here because, as I mentioned, I swatched out for a bit, but that wasn't the only swatching I did. That's like the original swatch for the colors here. This was my swatching for the greens, all of my own mixtures and some convenience mixtures and some handmade green watercolors, and this is how I chose the color for his beard and mustache. So that crazy bright red, that would have been crazy. That would have been too much. All right, let's go ahead and continue working on right here. Just bringing that mix over. And being that I'm Puerto Rican myself and we're a bit more dark skin, I'll probably use a darker value skin color combination as well. I've done that several times to my gnomes and I like the way it looks. I'm just blending everything very lightly. Going past the pencil line there just a bit. There we go. That should be good. I'm actually going to bring a bit of the gamboge by itself right there in the middle. And I blend it in with the rest. Very nice. It cannot get any more March Madness than this. This is actually pretty awesome. All right, let's go ahead and begin on the beard. Let me get some more clean water. I'm a stickler with clean water. Some of you guys might be like, that's just too extra. I know, but that's just how I am. I'll be right back. Okie dokie. Deep breaths in and out, because this means a lot to me. And if everything goes good, I'm gonna frame this because I'm very, very happy with how this is coming along. All right, so let's go ahead and begin to add our darker values. Just please keep in mind that this is just how I do things, how I blend things out. I know a lot of people prefer to do light to dark, and that's up to you, but this is how I work things out. I dare say there is no right way or wrong way when it comes to you know, certain things. You notice his mustache comes down pretty low over here on this side. And I just closed it up there. I didn't think it would be necessary to bring the color in on the other side. This also cements my love for opaque watercolors. You can see I love everything really rich, very deep. And using the side belly of your brush like that always helps too, with a nice soft gradient blend. I'm gonna come back from over here. Looking for perfect clean lines. I don't mind seeing little cauliflower blooms and bleeds here, but I do want certain areas to be really, really well defined, and doing it this way I think is helpful for me. All right, so let's go ahead and begin to, okay, this is the hardest part. That's why I left the pencil lines in. Feel free to fast forward through this because this part will be very, very tedious. As a matter of fact, all right guys, I am back, and as you can see I tidied up my gnome quite a bit. Still lots to do, I think, but I'll do that offline. I just wanted to make sure that I got most of it done here. So I went onto Pinterest and I looked up some skin tone recipes. So I got here Naples Yellow Red, or just Naples Yellow. I have Naples Yellow Red from Paul Rubens. And then it said raw umber and raw sienna. That was just one option. And I think I like that option. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the simplest way of doing this because yeah, and I'm also going to erase. I'm gonna press pause. I'm gonna use my kneaded eraser so I can erase whatever little lines are left over. Okay, so I erased as much as I could, and I have a good amount. I actually went in to my Paul Rubens and I picked up just a little bit of permanent red light, just to kind of rosy things up a bit, literally just a quick smidge of it. And I did mention before that I wanted my gnome's skin color to be just a little bit darker, so this is looking pretty good so far. I'm using my Princeton number 6 Velvet Touch for this. Just want to make sure I got all those edges. Usually I would use another brush. I'm going to use the side belly. Excuse me. Use the side belly of the brush. Sometimes my words get all tangled up. All right, so we got a decent highlight up there. Have to be real careful. I don't want any of that green coming in here. And I think I already brought it up into the green by mistake, so I have to pull back a bit. Let me just take these out of the way. I brought out my big old number 6 mop brush to bring in that background that I spoke about in the beginning of the video, but I still don't know what color. I put in my community tab just a quick preview of the gnome and how it's coming along so far, and a very kind commenter and subscriber. I don't want to mispronounce your name. I'm going to go with Fedrea. Please, please, I am so sorry if I mispronounced it. Do let me know, one or the other. But she commented if I'm using granulating watercolors. And I am using granulating watercolors. And she also, you know, asked if it was that or just experience, you know, skills and experience. That too. It's both. In order to get your colors to work this way, it takes time to build up, you know. I'm not saying this is everyone's cup of tea, but this is my cup of tea. And in order for me to work, you know, my colors this way, whether they're granulating or not, it's taken a lot of time and dedication. So thank you. I really, really appreciate your comment, your feedback, your support so much more than you'll ever know. So I'm coming in with some raw umber. I'm just going to mix it very lightly, because it seems as though I might need to push up into the green with a darker value. Holding my breath as I do that. My boy is dark. And my boy is dark. It's all good. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and let that dry. And then I'm going to come back with, when I heat dry it, I'm going to come back with some gold watercolor. I already took it out. I'm going to be using the Calero color, this one right here. And this color is from the Earth palette, the first gold color in that palette. I believe it's the Earth palette. Yeah, Green Earth palette, one or the other. Either way, I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and heat set it, and before I did, I removed a little bit of color from the middle, and I was able to salvage it and just lightly blend it. So I scaled back on his dark schnoz because it looked like really unnaturally dark. And okay, now I'm going to go ahead and begin to add the green. And I know I had mentioned this is the 00 Winsor Newton Cotman round brush, You know, I had mentioned earlier that I wanted some gold in this area right here. I just think, oops, close my palette there. I just think that gold and green with, you know, St. Patrick's Day and all the beautiful green color here that I have, just think the gold accentuates it. Velvety green, lush color. That is really nice. Very, very nice. All right. I'm tempted to add some gold to this area right here, and that's something I usually do. So yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. But before I do, you know, we can see some lines right here. That is actually some pencil lines that I brought in to help guide me to add some gold. Okay. Okay. This side. And you know what? I'm thinking right here too. And what this does is this just cleans things up as well, you know? You don't have to use gold either. You can also use, you know, a fine line brush, fine liner brush. I'm gonna go in with the darkest color and do some detail work, some line work. You can see a little bit definitely goes a long way. I might have to do a little bit of cleaning up around here, but that should be good. That looks really good. Okay, so I will show you how I add a little bit of gold. It's not the brush I want to use. I use my number 10 Artecria. Make sure it's clean. And I grab a good amount of gold in my brush. I always like to begin with a very soft sheer amount, and I can always add. Sometimes really difficult to remove color from in watercolor, sometimes impossible. You can always go dark, you just can't go light. That's what I've been told. And what'll help, if you don't want that gold to go all the way down, you can just flip, yep, you can flip your paper block. I'll just use this to help with the leverage. There we go, see? Flip the paper block and just gently from the side, come around, spread it out a bit. This also cleans up any uneven edges as well. So that's looking, I'm actually standing up and looking just to make sure. I can bring some more in, probably right here. This Colero gold is not like my regular Gold 2 golds. Usually I use Kim's Handmade Watercolor in Marry Me or Gatsby Gold, or the Starry Night palette from Kuretake. And those are golds that just blow anything you put it on out of the water. It's insane. And we can add just a little bit right over here to his little mitts, little mittens. This is more of a pearly finish. You know, this is the type of art I would love to continue to share this way. See, you got that really sheer, beautiful color right there. Very, very pretty. Usually I add things in threes. So what I'll do is this paper block did very, very well. I just wish Michaels would lower the price. It's obscene how much they charge for this paper. I wouldn't even mind paying $30, you know, $29.99, because they always have some type of coupon deal going off, and I would use my rewards. But $39.99 for a pack of 29 by 12, that's crazy. That's like charging Arch prices, right? Not even the Bauhong artist grade watercolor paper is that amount. I'm actually going to gently blend a little bit of the gold here, just like that. There we go. Soft, soft, soft. Well, guys, I am officially finished. I know I had mentioned that I was going to bring in some type of color wash, you know, like I just, you know, I'm scared to ruin this. Let me bring you down. Actually, let me show you what it looks like in natural light, because I know even though I have my blinds all the way up, the lighting could be a bit off. It's 3:22. Yeah, my son comes home in about a half hour, so let me go ahead and hurry up. This is what my video would look like if it was natural light. So as you can see, it would be really hard for me to come in here without having shadows, but good news, just flatter me here for a moment, or humor me here for a moment. I'm getting a new mattress within the next week, and that new mattress getting with some new curtains and just all sorts of new things is going to kick off a bit of a reorganization and kind of redo update of my bedroom. And I have my eye on a small desk with a few Rascog carts that will help me keep everything super tidy in Art Nook, a little corner in my bedroom. So that means I will be getting an insane amount of natural light. So something like literally 5 times brighter than this, because the way my apartment is, you know, how it's located or how it's in the direction of the sun, it's really nice. The amount of lighting I'm going to get is good. Okay, so you can see, still have a little bit of cleanup work to do. But see how that gold is nice and sheer now? It's like part of the hat. And that, I think, is just absolutely stunning. I'm not happy, I'll be honest, with the nose. A hard line ended up forming, excuse me, but you guys can see I tried my best. All right, so now I have to figure out, this is where I paint. Now I have to figure out, you know, what color I want to bring in. And I don't know, I might or might not share on my Instagram. Lately, Instagram, it's different now. It's not what it used to be, but I might share this on my Instagram. If not, I'll definitely share on my community tab, and whoever likes it will watch, and well, either way, I hope you enjoyed the real-time video, and okay, I'll see you all again real soon. I'm going to continue working on some more special art for March Madness, St. Patrick's Day. I don't know, I'll figure something out, but as you can see, I'm super happy, and okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.